Hey Saab people, if you drive an NG Saab 9.3 today, you probably know that there's a handful of parts that are really hard to come by. In addition to this, it can be difficult to find proper Saab expertise. That is where one particular service center comes in. Dean Hill Saab is not just your average, run-of-the-mill Saab service center. They're doing something incredible that is helping Saab owners worldwide. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Javen, but you probably know me best as Solving Saab. Dean Hill Saab, located in Charleston, New Hampshire, has been operating for many years, and they continue to even after the collapse of Saab. Every year, it becomes more and more difficult to find Saab parts. These guys are directly combating that by doing a ton of research and development, and they have found parts that are still supplied today that they're able to convert into other parts that are much more rare. And now, those parts are readily available. And these aren't used parts, they're brand new. In my last video, I teased that Dean Hill Saab had invited me down to their shop to check things out, but that is now even more important than it was before. Their process has changed, and it is very impressive. So let's head down to Dean Hill Saab and check things out. Well, we're now about 25-ish minutes out from Dean Hill. It's kind of blizzardy out here right now. There is definitely no sun anywhere in sight. Just a little bit snowy, but looks like we made it. All kinds of Saabs in the lineup here. 9.5s, 9.3s. I will go knock and let's check the place out. As soon as I walked through the door, I was surrounded by rare NG93 parts. Subframes of every variation, all brand new, and brand new, fully serviceable drive shafts ready to ship. In no time at all, we started talking about crazy Saab stories and projects.
It came out in Arizona, but I think it originated in Europe.
Only when you were on the throttle. When it would engage, it would try to separate the box.
Interesting.
I figured that was a good one to pull apart just to see what was going on.
Quickly, our conversation switched right to drive shafts when Roland said this.
That's your drive shaft on the floor, by the way.
My drive shaft?
The guys generously provided me with a drive shaft core that I'll be able to convert, but more on that later. Let's focus on their drive shafts first. What we're looking at here is one of Dean Hill Saab's brand new, fully serviceable drive shafts. At the introductory price, they're actually cheaper than the OEM stock drive shafts. This is actually their updated design that they have made by a manufacturer in Europe, and because their manufacturer is in Europe, they're able to provide widespread availability to the US, Canada, and Europe. These have replaceable U-joints held in by snap rings and fully replaceable carrier bearings in the center. I couldn't see a grease fitting on the U-joints, so I asked the guys about it.
Opted not to.
Yeah.
Because also, when you're in a low car, you're out in the field or the hay or the dirt, you hook onto everything.
Yeah.
Grocery bags.
They wanted to put the grease fitting in the cap, which is going to catch everything if you drive it in the grass.
Before these were made in Europe, Roland was actually taking the time by hand to make these out of Buick drive shafts that he converted.
You were originally doing the job here, converting Buick
We'll show
shafts.
you that first before we get tied up. It was a break-even proposition, but we were still keeping people on the road, like yourself. Some more, there's a convertible rear subframe.
Yeah.
There's our bushed rear subframes. They don't exist. We take the bell, and we have our own bushings, as a matter of fact. Drive shafts. I was converting for a hobby. Cut, shorten them in 2 spots, and transfer to Saab.
The drive shafts that Roland was originally converting, he wasn't making any profit on these. He simply did it for the good of his customers.
And neoprene will go right in.
Nice.
Jeez, want some bushings? 6 hours old.
Yeah. Wouldn't even grab.
Bearing was junk. It was
Yeah.
falling away. You pull the drive shaft off and it stays straight. It doesn't give no bend.
After some chatting and joking around, I showed Roland and Jeff my performance drive shafts that are used on high horsepower vehicles.
But yeah, this is for them high horsepower guys.
So what are you getting for these? For the race car boys?
I'm not making much on them, but I've got to sell them.
Not with that kind of work.
No, I'm selling them at $27.50, and that's
A lot of work.
without any shipping.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It definitely holds some horsepower compared to the stock one.
Yeah, which is, I mean, I'm only 450 horsepower on my rig at this point, but I went through 2 or 3 of the stock ones.
So all trucks,
lined
cars,
up.
4-wheel drives,
Yep.
Volvos, they're all lined up.
Yeah, not the Saab
only ones I've
ones.
ever seen is Saab. It's off.
18 degrees.
18
Why?
degrees.
You're asking for trouble.
If you get a noise here or a little vibration here, that's just going to keep it going down the line. By keeping it straight, that cancels it.
Next, let's talk subframes. Dean Hill Saab was able to source brand new front-wheel drive subframes, and they're able to take these subframes and convert them into every other variation of NG93 subframe. Convertibles, 03 to 04s, all-wheel drive, you name it, they can make it.
That's not bad at
Hold it
all.
up.
$625 is a fantastic deal for a subframe.
Isn't it?
What are you guys selling the all-wheel drive ones that you convert at?
$975.
That's not bad either.
No, it's not.
Especially considering you can't get them unless we buy them through you guys, but that's still a completely reasonable price
Only ones in
considering.
the world. We refined the all-wheel drive 3 times now, right, Jeff?
How long does it take you guys to typically convert a front-wheel drive subframe? Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it. You got fixtures here, it all does the same thing, almost like a...
Yeah. And you've got your setups.
Are more time-consuming.
Here, Roland explains that each variation of front subframe takes a whole different amount of labor to convert based on the differences of each one.
Cut this one off,
Yep.
but we offer them.
Yeah.
Then you've got 04 convertibles. Again, torsion mounts, you gotta go this way.
Yep.
So there's some serious work on that one. Anything that's converted, we just $975.
No matter the labor it takes them, they offer all converted frames at the same price.
There's a picture for you right there if you want it.
And for those of you NG95 owners, don't worry, they've got front subframes for you guys too. Front wheel drive and all-wheel drive.
I don't know shit about the 9.5s.
I don't either.
Holy shit.
That goes on this. There's your rear. You talking about producing part? We should show them the machine shop.
I'd love to see it if you had the time.
Show them the
You
bridge.
can see it from here.
You're gonna like this. What did you pay for it, Jeff, when you went uptown to get it for me?
So that's a Harbor Freight. I think it was like $60.
Yep.
But you would, I mean, it's done, it does all
does.
this.
Like I said, it's an understatement for me to say you're just doing the subframes, just doing the drive shafts, because there's a lot of work that goes into every individual piece on it, of course.
Dean Hill Saab service, us back here, started 16 years ago. I started here working when this was a Saab dealership.
Yep.
Working in the Fire Bay down here in the fall of 2000. Been with Saab 26 years. See, Roland's relatives owned the original dealership. His uncles all started this. This big building wasn't here. And
Yep.
where our cars are parked, there
Yep.
used to be a whole other line of buildings. There was the body shop. And Roland was in charge of the body shop. We're still selling cars.
Oh, you are?
We still buy used cars.
Okay.
So the 2000 convertible out there, that's our only used car right now.
And where do you get most of your buyers from?
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
We get a car and it's usually gone the same week. Give a 30-day warranty with it.
Yeah.
And we'll work with them. Something goes wrong.
What percentage of your work is service versus parts reproduction?
Still pretty heavy on the service. The reproduction is mostly just the subframes. And then, of course, now we're buying the dry shafts, turn around and ship. Still quite a bit of service, and we've taken on Volvo also.
We got him straight out in service. I usually do these on the weekend.
Yep.
It's relaxing. I'm not stuck in that broom closet sitting on my butt answering the phone.
Out of the parts you do convert, which is the most difficult?
The convertible subframe is the longer one because you got to cut the bells off, push the bushings out, cut the bells off. You got to locate. There's a lot of tools that we made to be able to locate the cross brace bracket for underneath the car. The all-wheel drives are fairly quick as long as you're not bothered.
How do you ensure your converted parts meet or exceed OEM quality?
It's modified to fit for the box, but
Yep.
everything else is original equipment.
Yep.
Fits just like original.
Out of all the stuff you offer, what in your opinion is the highest demand item?
Subframes.
Subframes?
Yeah,
Any particular model?
All-wheel drive, huh, Jeff?
2, 3 a week. It's weird. We'll sell 3, 4 all-wheel drives, and then the next week it'll be a convertible and a bunch of front-wheel drives.
One day we shipped 5 subframes.
What's the furthest place you've shipped a subframe?
We ship them to Canada, all over Canada.
Yep. What projects are you looking into / have in the works for future items?
Or is there anything you do want to supply but you have certain limitations?
We're looking right now to hopefully find a few pieces of the all-wheel drive rear suspension. There's no more links. There's no more control arms. And the gas tank straps. Pro parts gas tank straps on the average, most places they're, $40? Where Saab claims they're OEM
Yeah.
for almost 200. We're looking at gas tank straps affordable, and I'm working with my contact now in Europe to try and get some links for the all-wheel drives.
Nice.
Don't exist. So I'm working on some of that.
That's good.
At this point, we've pretty well got them covered.
Do you prefer the 2.8 or the i4?
Oh, I hate the 2.8.
Why is that? Out of
It
curiosity.
is just so hard to work on anything.
Yeah.
You've got to
take the whole thing apart to access
I
it.
did a night over pulley. I've never seen one seize up. Burned his belt off. Well, to get that off, you got to pull the power steering pump. Well, you can't get at the power steering pump unless you get rid of the snorkel tube that goes down.
Yep.
Because you can't get to that back bolt.
Yep.
So now you're 2 hours in removing parts to get that power
And you aren't even into the job.
Just to do 2 bolts to change that tensioner.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
I hate those guys.
I love my 2.8.
They are torquey.
When did you start making drive shafts or subframes, stuff like
The
that?
subframes came first.
Right. And that was 5 years ago, probably.
And it took a good 6 months of footwork and research. And I found this guy in the UK.
Yep.
And it's worked quite well ever since.
As you guys can see, Dean Hill Saab is doing a ton of hard work for the community. Please follow the link in the description to Dean Hill Saab's website, where you can message Roland and Jeff and inquire about any one of the products that you saw or any other product or service that you need. Unfortunately, I don't have enough profile views to put direct links to their website in the top right corner of the video, but hopefully that will be coming soon. Roland and I basically came up with an agreement that we are going to support each other in the Saab product market. I'm going to send customers his way for the OEM Plus drive shafts because they are now going to lead the drive shaft market. He's going to send customers my way for performance drive shafts, and he is directly supporting me through that because he is sending me drive shaft cores that I can convert into performance shafts for the race cars. So I want to state that this is not a paid promotion, but Dean Hill Saab and I are supporting each other at this time. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.